In ancient Indian epics, the ultimate power move for a royal bride was the Svayamvara. This was a highly formalized marriage tradition where a princess held the exclusive right to choose her husband from a hand-picked pool of elite suitors. These ceremonies were fiercely competitive arenas. Warlords would arrive to flex their immense wealth, command vast armies, and parade their status, all in an effort to intimidate rivals and win the bride. But one specific account in the ancient texts describes a moment where this grand display of male dominance went catastrophically wrong. Instead of a royal wedding, the event ended in a supernatural disaster. The Svayamvara was built to be the peak test of mortal power. Because of that, it became the perfect stage for a sharp lesson in human insignificance. The trouble begins with King Bhadratha. He faces a mounting dilemma regarding his daughter, Princess Padmavati, who has reached marriageable age. There is a massive catch to her marriage. Lord Shiva has already prophesied that Padmavati is destined to marry the Supreme Lord Hari, also known as Vishnu. The king applies human logic to this divine promise. He decides the best way to bring a god to earth is to throw the most opulent, massive royal wedding contest in history. This source shows the king's internal doubt in texts 5 and 6. He admits he lacks the piety to simply hand his daughter over to Lord Vishnu, so he resolves to arrange a grand Swayambara to draw the deity out. To build the necessary scale and hype, he sends out invitations to the wealthiest, most powerful mortal kings in the world. The king is attempting to use mortal vanity to force a divine outcome. By inviting these monarchs into a prophecy that doesn't involve them, he has turned the world's most powerful men into incidental players in a destiny they cannot control. The invited kings arrive expecting a triumph. They show up looking like demigods, covered in gold ornaments and commanding immense, highly trained armies. Texts 10 through 13 provide a literal catalog of their military might. The account details the war elephants, elite cavalry, chariots, and shining weapons these kings brought to the arena. As we see in text 14, these rulers take their seats with complete confidence. They are in a happy mood, totally unaware of the trap they have walked into. Then, Princess Padmavati enters the arena. The text describes her complexion as golden, with a face resembling the full moon. She appears as the personification of Maya, an intoxicating illusion. Her presence is so overwhelming that the narrator notes, she could purchase the entire 3 worlds with her beauty alone. The narrative has now placed the peak of mortal hubris in the same room as a force of divine intoxication. The psychological strike on the assembled warlords is instantaneous. The moment they see her, they're pierced by the arrows of Cupid and overwhelmed by lust. Their physical reaction is just as immediate. The kings are so stunned by her presence that their heavy weapons slip from their hands, all that military might crashing into the dust. As they sit there gazing upon the princess, divine magic takes hold and begins to reshape the biology of the kings. Texts 25 and 26 describe the physical transformation. The warlords instantly grow female figures, their waists thin out, bending under the weight of new breasts. The transformation extends to their psychology. Their movements become feminine, reducing these conquerors to companions following Padmavati. In an instant, the ultimate display of patriarchal power is neutralized. The magic erases the conquerors and turns them into the bride's personal entourage. The text frames these events as a specific eyewitness account, moving the perspective from the center of the arena to someone watching from the sidelines. Text 27 reveals the narrator's location. He admits he climbed up a banyan tree, terrified and bewildered, to observe the princess's reaction as the kings turned into women. The former warlords are now completely humiliated. Their own elephants and horses reject them, and their armies abandon them because they no longer recognize their commanders. The transformation has pacified the entire arena. The board is wiped clean of mortal interference without a single drop of blood being spilled. Padmavati herself is entirely indifferent to the neutralized kings and the chaos unfolding around her. She dismisses the spectacle her father created. She removes her royal ornaments and turns her attention away from the mortal pageantry. In text 29, she begins to write in the dirt with her right toe. Ignoring the suitors, she fixes her mind solely on Lord Hari to fulfill the original prophecy. Mortal wealth, military might, and human desire remain powerless against the prophecy. In this story, the laws of the physical world and the structures of power are altered to ensure that destiny is fulfilled.